Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter.
Present.
Freeholder Estrada.
Present.
Freeholder Hudak.
Here.
Freeholder Jallo.
Here.
Freeholder Kowalski.
Here.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Present.
Freeholder Wright. Vice Chairman Granados. and Chairman Bergen.
Present.
Chairman, you have 7 freeholders present.
Thank you. Clerk of the Board, please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk of the Board, please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
Chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, the County of Union, has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. May I please have a motion to approve communication?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion made by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Kowalski. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter,
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada,
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak,
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo,
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski,
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Aye.
and Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. May I now please have a motion to waive the reading and accept the minutes of the installation and reorganization meeting of January 3, 2016, agenda setting session January 14, 2016, and regular meeting January 21, 2016.
So moved. Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Carter, seconded by Freeholder Kowalski. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter,
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada,
Yes, except an abstention, January 14th.
Freeholder Hudak,
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo,
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski,
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Aye.
Chairman Bergen.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative for the meeting minutes of the Sunday, January 3rd installation and reorganization meeting. You have 6 votes in the affirmative for the meeting minutes of the January 14th agenda setting session, and you have 7 votes in the affirmative for the meeting minutes of the January 21st regular meeting.
Thank you. We now have an ordinance listed for adoption. Clerk of the Board, please read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 772-2016, an ordinance to amend the laws of Union County Administrative Code and policies and general legislation by amending Part 1, Chapter 1, Article 16, Departments, Divisions, Bureaus, Article, 16, Department of Human Services, Article 17, Administrative Services, Article 18, Department of Parks and Recreation, Chapter 44, Department Head Qualifications, Chapter 138, Vehicles and Traffic, deleting Chapter 64, Healthcare Services, and adding Chapter 140, Contracted Off-Duty Employment of Law Enforcement Officers, and adopting the 2016 Department of Parks and Recreation Fees for Recreation Facilities.
Thank you. The meeting is now open to the public for purposes of commenting on this ordinance 772-2016 only. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record, and please adhere to the 5-minute time limit. Is there anyone who wishes to comment on the pending ordinance only?
Yeah, John Burry, Kenilworth. I didn't read this, so I really don't know what it's all about. Can someone just explain in detail what, it looks like department heads are being changed around. What's going on with the changes? What would the changes be? And I assume fees are going up, so what fees will be going up?
Brief overview, yeah.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'll provide a brief overview of the proposed ordinance. There are some changes in structure and personnel in the Department of Administrative Services, the creation of Office on Women, increase in out-of-county golf fees, policies and procedures for our Jobs in Blue county police officers, and some language change necessitated by our Cornerstone no longer being now being separate from Runnels Hospital.
Thank you, County Manager. Anyone else wishing to comment on the pending ordinance only? Seeing none, I will close that portion of the meeting. Freeholder Carter, would you please move ordinance 772-2016?
Thank you, Chairman. I move ordinance number 772-2016 for final reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law.
May I please have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Carter, seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the board, will you please call the roll?
Freeholder Carter,
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada,
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak,
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo,
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski,
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Aye.
and Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. We now have an ordinance for introduction, ordinance number 773-2016. Clerk of the board, would you please read that ordinance by title?
Ordinance number 773-2016, an ordinance fixing the salaries of 2 department heads, administrative services and economic development.
Freeholder Mirabella, would you kindly move ordinance 773-2016?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move ordinance 773-2016 for first reading, authorize the clerk of the board to advertise the same in accordance with the law. The final reading and public hearing will be scheduled for March 31st, 2016.
May I please have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Kowalski. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter,
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada,
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak,
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo,
Aye.
Freeholder Kowalski,
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella,
Aye.
and Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. The meeting is now open to the public for purpose of commenting on resolutions being offered for adoption only. Kindly state your name and town of residence, set forth the resolution to which you are referring, and please adhere to the 5-minute time limit. Anyone wishing to comment on pending resolutions, please come forward.
Yeah, John Berry, Kenilworth. I only got this one thing that I couldn't make sense of. 210, about the juvenile detention center. Can someone translate that for me? I thought there was some deal with Hudson County that they were going to take prisoners or whatever. What is this going to be for 2 months? It's going to be state employees coming in and we have to pay them? I mean, what does this translate into in real life? That's it.
211. It's actually
I think he meant 211.
Mr. Berry, maybe the numbers are incorrect, but I believe you're talking about 211 having to do with the MOU and the Juvenile Justice Commission, is that correct? Okay.
He has a draft. They don't have it.
Director Guzzo, could you respond to that on 2016-211?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, in response to the speaker, this is a memorandum of understanding with the state of New Jersey, specifically the Juvenile Justice Commission. As some of you heard at the budget hearing the other night, we talked extensively about civil service and the lack of response that they have in certain positions when you try to fill them, particularly in the corrections area. And as I said, and I'll just repeat very quickly again, the inability for civil service to act quickly on certain positions causes counties, particularly counties that run juvenile detention centers and somewhat to the extent corrections, adult jails, their salary budgets and overtime budgets go up. In our particular instance, in April of last year, we asked for a test from civil service. They gave it in December. We finally got a list that we could work from in January 27th of this year. We ran at a 34% vacancy rate for that entire time. which of course caused our overtime to go up. While we were taking some action with civil service today, it is necessary to have trained officers to come in, and JJC will be able to supply them. Finally, on Monday, we've not started it yet. We were able to look at the budget very closely, provide funding for this particular contract without any change to the county manager's executive budget submitted to you.
Thank you, Mr. Guzzo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else having comments on any pending resolution?
Good evening, Mike Waddick, Summit, New Jersey. Just wanted to say thank you regarding Resolution 216-187, concurring with the City of Summit's ordinance to prohibiting parking on a portion of Morris Avenue. Thank you for following the council's lead and helping us resolve that issue. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us tonight. Anyone else have any comments on pending resolutions only? Seeing no further comments, I will close that portion of the meeting. May I please have a motion to adopt resolutions 2016-187 through 2016-245?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Carter. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter?
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada?
Yes, with 2 noes. Item numbers 206, half of the position controls, the one dealing with the Office of the County Council is a no, and also the waiver, residence waiver on 207.
Freeholder Hudak?
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo?
Aye to all, no to 206.
Freeholder Kowalski?
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella?
Aye.
Chairman Bergen?
Abstain as to 2016-210, yes as to all remaining resolutions.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative for all resolutions except the exception of Resolution 206, where you have 5 votes in the affirmative with 2 votes in the negative. For Resolution 207, you have 6 votes in the affirmative with 1 vote in the negative. And for Resolution 210, you have 6 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention.
Thank you. The meeting is now open to the public for purpose of commenting on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the county. Once again, please state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 5-minute limitation.
Hi, Maria Echevarria, Elizabeth, New Jersey. I've already stated this in the past about welfare, which is a governmental issue, a governmental entity that doesn't allow clients to read before they sign. Now, everybody knows that it's law that you get to read before you sign, but that agency does that, and my paperwork is, supposedly I own property, according to my paperwork. And I know I don't own property. I already took it to the fair hearing in Newark, and the judge over there really doesn't want to hear it. But I would like to correct it. And I know according to my paperwork is that because of what I was doing, they weren't supposed to retaliate against me, and that's how I feel that they're doing to me. I had 10 days to go there. I got the letter. It said the February 16th date on it. I got to that agency February 26th. And supposedly I was already on a sanction. I already put in my request for the fair hearing pending the whole thing and to continue benefits. So I do believe that because nobody sent me a letter stating that I was going to be on a sanction already, okay? I got the letter stating that if I didn't show up by the 10th day, I was going to be on a sanction. So I did show up over there on my 10th day on my deadline. But somehow when I go to that office, I'm already on a sanction. I go to legal aid. Legal aid really doesn't help you with this. Okay, to them, everybody is thinking it's okay for you to sign without reading. They're trying to mandatory me to go to some place where I don't know why I'm being mandatory to go there, because I had a problem with the prosecutor's office over their negligence over my complaint I did many years ago. And instead of them taking accountability and responsibility for their negligence over my case, instead I'm just told to go for more therapy. And that's what they're trying to make me do or something. But to me, it should be my choice to go for therapy, which that's what I'm in the middle of trying to do. But it's my choice to go for therapy, not for the welfare system to mandatory on my paperwork for me to go. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else in the public who has comment on any governmental issue?
Any governmental issue? Assume not the presidential election. Again, my name is Mike Waddick. I'm from Summit, New Jersey, and I addressed the freeholders today as a concerned New Jerseyan, also representing the Summit Taxpayers Association. In 1989, the average inflation-adjusted median income for Union County residents was $78,000 odd. In 2014, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, it was $80,818. Over that same time period, as wages have been flat, our property taxes have exponentially gone up for everybody. In Summit, we are in the middle of budget season. Tonight, we're going to pass a school budget that raises taxes 1.5%. However, here in the county, if I'm reading it correctly, we have an over 3% increase in the county budget. I'd just like to hear from you all why we can't stick to the mandated 2% cap. We realize there are waivers and there are things to go over. Any portion of New Jersey government can do that, but why here in New Jersey can't we, in Union, can't we stick to the 2% state mandated cap? Thank you.
I'm going to just address that briefly. First of all, to say that the budget and the information that's been published is the executive budget. That is not the final budget. This freeholder board is still in the process of holding budget hearings. The fiscal committee chaired by Freeholder Mirabella has held 2 hearings already in public, both earlier this week. There will be a 3rd public hearing
Next Thursday.
a week from tonight before our regular meeting, which will be the final budget hearing. And the public will also have an opportunity to raise questions about the budget during the final hearing on the budget, which is expected to be in April. As far as the 2% cap, and as many people may know, I served in local government as an attorney for 16 years, and they talk about the 2% cap. That is for municipalities. The county cap laws are somewhat different, and in fact, we have 2 cap laws passed at different times that we need to comply with the lower cap between the 2. And Union County does, in fact, comply with our cap law. If you want some further details, certainly I or our CFO, we'd be happy to talk to you at another time. But in essence, the 2% cap that municipalities have is not the same law that the county has to comply with. And we do, in fact, come in under our cap law. Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else in the public who has a comment?
My name is Rhonda McLean, Springfield, New Jersey. My issue is, I work for Union County Social Services, and my issue is with the time and leave policy, and they're putting in scanners now. But our office has inadequate parking for the number of people employed at the Westminster building. I have 2 possible solutions. One is that you can take and rehab some empty lots which are nearby. There's one specifically behind Crown Bank, which is on the corner of Westminster and Prince Street. You also can help relieve parking and traffic congestion by possibly talking to New Jersey Transit. They have employer programs which at no cost and low cost to the employer can help with transportation issues. Finding the solution to the problem is not my job, that's your job. I'm just letting you know that we do not have adequate parking. But your job comes with designated parking, mine does not. So I need to know how early should I leave in the morning in order to circle half of Elizabeth to find parking in order to get to my job on time before they install scanners, which tell me I have a 5-minute limit before I'm marked absent or marked late. Thank you for listening to my comments.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to comment on any governmental issue? Seeing none, then I will close that portion of the meeting. And we'll move on to freeholder reports and comments. Freeholder Hudak.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm lonely.
Hello down there.
Oh, he's coming. Hello down there.
Just a few comments tonight. First of all, this week is National Consumer Protection Week, and I'd like to take a moment to encourage residents and business owners to learn more about avoiding scams and understanding consumer rights. The Union County Office of Consumer Affairs has a mission to help protect consumer rights. And if you believe a business located in Union County has violated your rights, is overcharging, price gouging, and many other untoward activities, I encourage you to start the process by filing a formal complaint with the office. It is also helpful to be aware of simple steps such as checking receipts and checking prices will be helpful as well. For more information about the Union County Office of Consumer Affairs, you can visit our website, ucnj.org, or visit the office at 908-6, or call the office 908-654-9840. And just to the gentleman from Summit who spoke, and again, I've been on the board now for about 5 years, and every year this is something we hear about, the nominal cap, and we should try to get the number down. I think the board has generally done a very good job over the past 5 years when we had a point where we had a tremendous budget deficit and a large number of layoffs in 2012 to the fact that we have gotten to a predictable tax levy. We've been able to maintain staffing and service levels, but also we're continuing to reinvest in the county. And to simply say, we can't spend at a certain level arbitrarily, I don't necessarily think is good management. And we're seeing other government entities in other states, and specifically New Jersey, where we don't have proper transportation funding, infrastructure starting to degrade. For us to simply say we're not going to continue to invest in Union County is an irresponsible decision. So I know we're going to be going through the budget over the next few weeks and doing vetting, trying to get that number down, but I think the taxpayers can rest assured we're in a good place in terms of where we are financially, and we've made some good, prudent decisions over the last few years, and I look forward to that discussion as we move towards a final adoption of the budget. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Kowalski?
Thank you. Yes, along the lines of budget, I think what some people in our municipalities forget is that the county representing the 21 towns together carries the responsibility and the expense for some very expensive items, such as the jail, the courthouse. We're building a family courthouse. All of these are expensive things that maybe people don't like to think about every day, but they are necessary to the security and the maintenance of this county. So, and of course, there are the regular services, the social services that Ms. McLean and a number of other people work for. There's parks, city roads, I mean, you saw in the last big storm that it was the county roads that got cleared first, the major roads, Morris Avenue, Springfield Avenue. And unfortunately, the state does not always provide funding for the projects that are benefiting all of the county. So that those offer real challenges for us, but as Freeholder Hudak said, we try to responsibly weigh everything and keep the budget down as low as we can, and in the fiscal committee we are looking for where we can make some economies wherever it's possible, but we're not going to make economies at the cost of the well-being of our residents. Speaking of well-being, I attended a pedestrian safety event last week with Mayor Bolwage and freeholders from Somerset and Passaic County, police representatives, doctors from Trinitas Hospital, and the New Jersey Transportation Planning Authority. Freeholder Estrada has been very active on the NJTPA. And we got together last week to kick off a pedestrian safety campaign. Elizabeth is participating in this campaign. It's called Street Smart New Jersey, and the aim is to combat distracted driving and walking. I know all of us in driving around Union County and elsewhere have seen people, driving while they're looking at their cell phones or they're looking at other things, and this is a major safety issue. The program began in 2013 at 5 pilot sites, and it is now expanded to 12 community partners this year, including the City of Elizabeth, and it's urging motorists and pedestrians to do something called Check Your Vital Signs, because pedestrian safety is vital to the well-being of all of us. And the signs are going to say stop for pedestrians. Seems like a basic thing, but we need to have these signs to remind drivers to stop. Obey the speed limit is another one. For pedestrians, wait for the walk sign, and also use crosswalks. And the last message on signs that will be posted around says, heads up, phones down. So whether you're driving, walking, cycling, it's important for all of us to be aware of our surroundings, to pay attention to what we're doing, and when you're driving, drive. Don't talk on the phone or text people. We're hoping this campaign will raise awareness and encourage drivers and pedestrians to make smarter and safer decisions. And lastly, last week we had Read Across America events around the county, and I just want to thank Ms. Laskowski and her 4th grade class at Queen City Charter School in Plainfield. Freeholders Carter and Granados and I had the pleasure of reading in different classes at Queen City Charter School, and the students were so smart and informed and asked really good questions, and we had a great time reading with them and talking with them. Also, I'd like to thank Mrs. Callan and her 2nd grade class at Linden School number 10. Had a great time reading a Dr. Seuss book with them, and they also were very bright and informed. And thanks to the NJEA volunteers who organized the reading at Barnes & Noble. That's it for me. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Carter.
Thank you, Chairman. Our Division of Youth Services is hosting a special public discussion of cyberbullying on Wednesday, March 30th, from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at the Peterstown Community Center here in Elizabeth. It's located at 418 Palmer Street. The event, titled Bullying in Our Children, is aimed at fostering a greater understanding of cyberbullying in order to help young people use the internet safely without fear of harassment. Because many kids are reluctant to report being bullied online, even to their parents, it's impossible to know just how many are affected. We need to educate our children and ourselves. This very important conversation will open the lines of communication for families to proactively discuss the issues teens and preteens can face on a daily basis. I encourage you to come and join the discussion. Again, it will be on Wednesday, March 30th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at Peterstown Community Center, 418 Palmer Street in Elizabeth. If you'd like to have more information on the bullying in our children, you can visit the Division of Youth Services online at ucnj.org/youth or call 908-558-2520. Also, later on this month, our youth here in the county will be they're gearing up now, but they will be kicking off their garments and gear from the UC STEP service project that they developed from all of the youth here in the county and was voted on. Garment and gear is something that really they've started from beginning and will hold it until the end, and it will run for a couple of months. So you may see some information coming out soon. Please remember to support our youth and support them giving back to the community. And this year's project, again, is Garment and Gear. As we go through the month of March, March is Women's History Month, and I want to take an opportunity to thank all of the women here in Union County for what they do for our county, for their volunteer hours, and for all that they've done in the past and things that they'll do in the future. And want to recognize every last one of the women that live here in the county and who help support things that go around in our county. Last but not least, as Freeholder Kowalski mentioned, we did participate in Read Across America, and I want to take an opportunity to thank the administration at Jefferson School in Plainfield, the assistant principal, Gina Ogren Thompson, along with the Queen City Charter School in Plainfield, for allowing us to come out and read to the youth there at their schools and participate with them for the day. It was a great interaction, and I believe it also not only gave us an opportunity to let the kids know really how well we read and everything in their books, but a chance to really reminisce and go back and reading all of our Dr. Seuss books to them. But them getting to know and ask questions about what we do here in the county and really being able to participate with them and getting to see them. And we get to see all the wonderful work that they're doing, because they really are remarkable. We have some really wonderful youth that are here in the county and throughout all of our schools, throughout all the towns. So I thank them for inviting us, and I look forward to going back next year and doing the same thing. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Estrada.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I want to thank my colleague, Freeholder Kowalski, for attending the pedestrian safety campaign, which is very critical and is not limited to any municipalities in the County of Union. This particular time, Elizabeth's one of the chosen cities, and that's after looking at some of the crash data and information in terms of how many accidents we have had that has had an impact on lives of our residents. This is a second part, the second wave of New Jersey Transportation Planning Authority project that will go on. It's a relatively simple. It has, since this is the second wave, we already have results from the first wave, and I can truly tell you that we have made a difference in the life of many individuals throughout those chosen cities that they started with. So we look forward to this campaign. I know that it's going to be doing very, very well. As many of you are aware, we do have a big challenge on Highway 109 and the amount of crashes or individuals who have crossing the roads in improper areas and has actually lost their life or have been seriously injured. So it takes of all of us to resolve some of those issues. Let me just take a second to talk about my vote on item numbers 206 and 207. As I reviewed the position controls for this particular board meeting, I found that once again we're losing the opportunity of looking at potential minority individuals to fill positions. And in one here, we have an assistant county counsel that's substantially making tremendous amount of money. And at the same time, in the next resolution, we're asking for a waiver. I think if we keep one of the things that I've always looked at in terms of this particular county is to make sure that we are right-sizing, not by any radical means, but rather by using the opportunities that we get to ensure that individuals in the minority ranks, that is women, blacks, Latinos, and Asians, have an opportunity to play a role. For example, if there are people in the offices, do they have the opportunity to move forward? And I hope this will open up or have my colleagues keep that in their perspective for the future. I think it's important to make sure that we start balancing out our responsibilities in terms of people that we hired. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Mirabella.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I have two topics I'd like to speak on. One is Narcan training. When properly administered, the drug Narcan can prevent potentially lethal overdose of heroin and prescription opioids. If you have a family member or loved one at risk for an overdose, please attend a free confidential Narcan training session sponsored by Union County with the JSAS Healthcare and Prevention links. One session is coming up on March 21st in Scotch Plains. Another is scheduled for April 18th in Union Township. Both of them are available to any Union County resident. For details, please contact Nazreen Modal, our Union County Alliance Coordinator, at 908-527-4852. On a lighter note, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to remind everyone that our sensory-friendly theater series is continuing on Sunday, March 20th, with the popular Rootsy Rock and Roll of Brady Reimer and the Little Band That Could. As always, the show is designed so that everyone can have a great time, especially those individuals with sensory sensitivities. All our sensory-friendly theater shows take place at the Union County Performing Arts Center in Rawley. For details and tickets, please visit online ucpac.org. With that, I'll conclude my comments, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. County Council, any comments?
No comments, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you. County Manager, anything tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, just like to report, particularly in light of the fact that we had a representative from Summit at the meeting tonight, that I and some members of my staff met with the new mayor of Summit, Nora Radist. It was a very positive and productive meeting, and we pledged to work together to maximize the services and programs that the residents received and continue and even expand shared services opportunities. So I just wanted to make mention of that. Thank you.
Thank you, County Manager. Earlier this week, I joined Senator Raymond Lesniak, Freeholders Kowalski and Wright, our Human Services Director Frank Guzzo, and more than 60 members of the clergy, nonprofit, and social workers to launch the Senator's pilot program, which enables food stamp recipients to keep their benefits while looking for work or being trained. The other purpose of the rally was to urge protection of the poor from cuts to food stamps, now formerly known as SNAP. Senator Lesniak's pilot program is unique in that it leverages private donations from foundations and is matched by federal dollars. The pilot program comes amidst news that as many as 11,000 to 20,000 New Jersey residents and as many as 1,500 here in Union County could lose their food stamp benefits. This is a result of the Christie administration's decision not to seek a waiver of the restriction of benefits from the federal government for single able-bodied adults without dependents who receive food stamps. This restriction is particularly onerous here in New Jersey, where the long-term unemployment rate exceeds almost every other state in the country. The launch of the pilot program is also timely, given that March is National Nutrition Month, a campaign that focuses on the importance of healthy food choices. This pilot program is the right thing to do, not only for Union County residents who receive food stamp benefits, but for all of New Jersey's residents who may lack the means to put food on their table. I do have some good news to share, even if it is temporary. As a result of the press conference, the state has moved the cutoff date back to the end of the summer before our residents could potentially lose their benefits. Putting food on the table is a human right. Union County will continue to keep up the fight to protect our most vulnerable citizens from being hurt by callous cuts to this invaluable program. On a lighter note, I would like to note that the Union County St. Patrick's Day Parade will be this Saturday. They're predicting wonderful weather, not drizzle like last year or snow flurries we had a couple years ago. So please come out. It's a great event. We expect a very big crowd, and I hope everyone will join us. And though he has left to go home, I do want to congratulate Freeholder Jallo, whose 3-year-old baby is home, and he's joined his
3 years
wife.
old already?
3 years old already?
What did I say, 3 days old. There you go. 3 days old baby, so we wish the family the best. And that being said, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
The second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you.